folks who love this country, who all began to dream the same dream. And when the morning came, there arose across this nation people thinking one and the same. And they woke to find their freedom and all their liberties had gradually been taken away. And when they realized the danger to their posterity, I heard those patriotic people say, we want this country back. We ain't just joking, Jack. We want our liberty and our dignity and our freedoms and our rights restored. We want this country back. She's been driven way off track. We're wide awake and we're madder than hell now, and we ain't gonna take it anymore. No, we're not gonna take it anymore. Remember golden days when the stars and stripes forever symbolize her glorious name, America. But now it's all been changed, and when we gaze upon her glory, it's hard to fight back feelings of shame. Work it up with lying politicians and greedy corporations who have sold us out time and again. And we're sick and tired of sending our soldiers off to wars that we were never meant to win. We want this country back. We ain't just joking, Jack. We want our liberty and our dignity and our freedoms and our rights restored. We want this country back. She's been driven way off track. We're wide awake and we're madder than hell now, and we ain't gonna take it anymore. No, we're not gonna take it anymore. Now we know our cause is right and our victory's on the way, and we won't give up the fight till we hear 200 million say, we want this country back. We ain't just joking, Jack. We want our liberty and our dignity and our freedoms and our rights restored. We want this country back, and we ain't taking any more slack. We're wide awake and we're madder than hell now, and we ain't gonna take it anymore. No, we're not gonna take it anymore. That's right, we're not gonna take it anymore. We said we're not gonna.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Maggie Rose, and this is the new Concord Hour being brought to you by the Micro Effects Radio Broadcasting Network. I'm really hoping that you are being able to hear us loudly and clearly, that the white noise that I'm hearing in the background hopefully will be diminished as the show progresses. Now, folks, today is Wednesday. It is Ladies Roundtable. Again, today is Wednesday. This is Ladies Roundtable Day. As you know, every Wednesday we try to come up with Donna Hammond and with Cy. And any of you other ladies or gentlemen that want to tune in as guests on Roundtable, let me know by sending me an email to the New Concord Hour with Maggie@hotmail.com, and we'll see what we can do about bringing you in on Ladies Roundtable. Before we go into today's show, I did want to state something for the record here, folks. First of all, we will be having a guest call in after the half part of the hour, after we go to station break and we come back. Mary Ann will be calling us with some updated information that is going on regarding your medical records that are being kept in your doctor's office. As you all know, is that in the doctor's office, your records are supposed to be kept secure. Ouch, ouch. I don't know what's going on in the background, but we're trying to record today's show, so whatever's happening in the background, hopefully we'll be able to minimize that. So anyway, in your doctor's offices are supposed to be, your records are supposed to be kept secure. And because of HIPAA, your records are supposed to be kept secure from outside government influence. And so Marianne is going to be calling in. At the bottom of the hour to share some information about that. I also would like to state I've been in phone contact with the Bundy families, with the wives, the other relatives of the Bundys, as well as all the other political prisoners that we have. I've been in contact with Jason Patrick, with family members, with other people that are political prisoners right now. And I really believe that both Cy and I have in the past come onto our shows, and we basically have been very frustrated, and I've been a little bit angry, feeling that there are not enough of you out there that have been doing what it takes to bring this country back. We have tried to encourage you gathering your communities together and sharing what is going on, and as we all know, some of the people in your community are going to feel it's a conspiracy. Some of the people in your community are going to take on the normalcy bias, that everything's fine with the world. Others are going to say, well, the government won't let this happen. They will not wrap their mind around the fact that it's our own government that's doing this to us. It's people in the shadow government. It's people that are very insidiously consider that we, the middle class and the poor, are nothing but the minutia beneath their feet. And so, therefore, they also believe in depopulation. And they'll do whatever they can to make sure there's more wealth and more resources to go around for them. They don't care about human life. We've seen this with the Clintons. When John F. Kennedy Jr. was going to run New York, and Hillary knew that by being senator of New York would give her a path to the White House, it was very interesting that he said in private that he was going to announce his intent to run for senator of New York when he came back from his vacation that weekend. And isn't it interesting that that was the weekend that he crashed and died? There's too many things out there, folks, to be considered a coincidence. The situation with Vince Foster, we all know that he did not die in that park and he did not take his own life. We all know people that were privately on her staff that would clean up the messes that she creates. We know that he was killed in the White House, and we know he was moved to that park. The gun was put in his non-dominant hand. There was or blood anywhere on the ground around him. And that the way that the bullet wound entered and exited his body was no way that he could have shot himself. But the American people want to be lulled into a false sense of reality. And they don't want to wrap their minds around the fact that the people that we supposedly have elected to represent us would actually turn on us like wolves. It's like a shark eating frenzy, folks. And the sharks, if their baby shark gets cut on the coral and starts to bleed, what happens? The mommy shark, the daddy shark, and all the brother and sister sharks will turn on that one shark, and they will chew that shark to death as it's bleeding to the water. And that's what's happened in this country. So, folks, with that said and done, let's try to be careful about not condemning the people in our communities that are busy working 1, 2, and 3 jobs trying to survive, that barely have enough time to come home at night and just pop something in the microwave to eat because they're so tired. Our government has us running to and from, just trying to survive. They're taxing us to death. They're involving themselves in every aspect of our life, practically going into our bedroom. As I used to say, the next thing they're going to do is ask what color of toilet paper we use. I mean, that's how bad it's getting in this country, folks. But we have to be very careful to bring our neighbors and our friends and our family along slowly. And if they don't want to hear what we have to offer, then you just have to bless them and go on. And plant the seed wherever you can. So with that said and done, folks, I'd like to welcome Donna and Cy back on the show. You both ladies.
Hi, Maggie.
Hello. Yes, hi. Now, Donna, Cy has found something that we wanted to present to the people, that she found something going on up in Washington. And I truly believe, read the article, I truly believe that this is happening all across the country and that very little is being said about it. And I bet you 10 to 1 the people of the Midwest and our great southern states and in the East Coast, they are not aware that this is happening. And if it's happening here, it's going to happen all across this country. So, Cy, would you please, and I know that Donna's read the article as well, would you please share with the American people what it is that you found out that happened recently?
Okay. Let's see. There's a couple of different things. There is an article out. It is by Alexander Kane, and he runs a website called AliveAfterTheFall.com, and it's called Equal Justice Under the Law. And basically, he went through and he compared the statements that James B. Comey, C-O-M-E-Y, of the FBI has made with regards to the Clintons. Essentially, the FBI is going to let Hillary get away with basically what could be construed as treason with regards to her emails, and they're just going to let it go. Now, I heard today there's a scuffle on the internet about whether or not the hacker that originally got into the emails is still alive. And we're trying to get confirmation on that. The rumor mongers are all over the board as to whether or not it was true or not. Some are saying true, some are saying not true. But this article that this Alexander wrote is a very good article. Again, it's called Equal Justice Under the Law. And he gives some quotes, and then he compares those quotes to U.S. code so that you can actually compare what he is saying to what our laws define or indicate. And I strongly recommend that everybody go and take a look at this. I received a copy of this via email, and so you're going to have to Google it because I don't have the link for that right up here. It is an article under the name, the author name is Alexander Kane, C-A-I-N, and then I had some follow-up to this particular article. And the follow-up includes remembering who appoints the directors of these three-letter acronym agencies. Okay, so we have to keep this in mind. Basically, if the FBI are in charge of determining whether or not they're going to continue investigating or indict or bring somebody into a courtroom, essentially. And if that happens to be these characters in the administration, basically we have the fox guard in the henhouse type situation. The WashingtonExaminer.com has an article titled Rough from the link, Now FBI Director Faces Congressional Probe. And then at www.cia.gov, you can see 20 speeches testimony /director-Brennan-speaks at the Council on Foreign. Now, dashes in between each of the words. Now, you have to remember that.
Just a moment. Every time when you're talking, you're fading in and out. Every other word is being missed, it seems. I'm having a hard time because for some reason, as you're talking, every other word seems to be skipping. Are you aware of that?
No, I can't really tell on my end that it's doing that.
Okay.
But basically what I was going to say is that everyone needs to remember that most of the leading public faces of the corruption are operating out of the Council on Foreign Relations. This includes the Clintons, Valerie Jarrett, Obama, John McCain, John Kerry, and former President Carter, among many others. So here we have this firestorm that's going on in Washington, D.C. The FBI director is facing a congressional probe because he's backpedaling and not wanting to pursue the Clintons. And Brennan, of course, is speaking at the Council on Foreign Relations about these matters. And so we have to remember that basically, they're all in cahoots. And so last but not least, from the dailycaller.com, we have Obama DOJ prosecuted more government officials for leaking classified info than past administrations. This is an article at dailycaller.com. Now, a lot of that wasn't so much that they cared one whit about what was leaked as it was basically fratricide. It was insider infighting, essentially. So it's okay when it's they who are doing it, but not okay when somebody else is doing it. So basically, this is what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a total breakdown of law in D.C.
Yes, I agree with you. And the thing is what was very interesting is the FBI. Now, I don't know, Donna, if you saw this last night or not, but when I talked to you a few minutes ago, I didn't have a chance to ask you. When the FBI director got up, he basically, in one way, was telling the American people, we know that there's something going on here. We know there's been some things that have happened that looked like that were illegal, that was negligence, that was irresponsible. But then it's like he tried to pass it on that it was like the Russians or somebody else that was hacking into her system. So on one hand, he's telling us, the American people, that he does believe something was wrong and that she is responsible and guilty. But on the other hand, he's saying, but we really don't think that we can go after her on this, that there's not enough to go on her. And I believe somebody got to him. I believe that somebody actually got to him. And that it's interesting that when Bill Clinton got up on the plane of the Secretary of State, when he got up on the plane with Secretary of State, we all know they weren't talking about golf. They weren't talking about their grandkids. So what my concern is that did he get up there and warn her that she could be the next hit, the next assassination, if she did not get FBI to come up with this finding?
Right. Well, obviously there have been a lot of unexplained sudden deaths in Hillary's circle. So I'm sure that doesn't take too much to put two and two together, that somebody got to him and said, you might be a little more careful about what you're going to do against Hillary, because she seems to have the ability to get away with murder.
Well, Sai,
did I lose everyone?
No, I'm right here.
No,
say. Go ahead, Sai.
Oh, I was just listening, and I'm hearing a lot of thumping in the background. I'm not sure where that's coming from.
Yeah, I am too.
Well, I
moving stuff around.
It's beautiful out here. Maybe it was me.
Yeah, are you outside right now?
I just got out here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of thumping coming from your end, Donna. Are you
going on?
Yeah, are you moving stuff around, or are you moving, or what?
No, I'm sitting still now.
Okay. So anyway, Sai, what else did you want to bring up about that particular article?
Well, I can go back and I can give some excerpts to some of this. It's very, very interesting. Let's see. It says, equal justice under the law is a phrase engraved on the front of the United States Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C. It is also a societal ideal that has influenced the American legal system. The phrase was proposed by the building's architects and then approved by judges of the court in 1932. How things have changed in 70 years. Yesterday, FBI Director James B. Comey released a statement on the investigation of Secretary Hillary Clinton's use of a personal email system. I do not claim that I am a legal expert by any means, the author writes, but I do believe that the justice and its perception should be free of any feelings of any kind of animosity. Therefore, what I want to present to you today are excerpts from the statement and relevant provisions from the U.S. Criminal Code. What should we think about all this? Could we say that Hillary is above the law? Well, that's for you to read and decide. So here's his first quote. James B. Comey saying, quote, Secretary Clinton used several different servers and administrators of those servers during her 4 years at the State Department and used numerous mobile devices to view and send an email on that personal domain. As new servers and equipment were employed, older servers were taken out of service, stored and decommissioned in various ways. From the group of 30,000 emails returned to the State Department, 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received. 8 of those chains contained information that was top secret at the time they were sent. 36 chains contained secret information at the time, and 8 contained confidential information, which is the lowest level of classification. The quote goes on to say, it could also be that some of the additional work-related emails were recovered when among those deleted as personal by Secretary Clinton's lawyers when they reviewed and sorted her emails for production in 2014. It is also likely that there are other work-related emails that did not produce to state and that we did not find elsewhere and that are now gone because they deleted all emails they did not return to state. And the lawyers cleaned their devices in such a way as to preclude complete forensic recovery. Then the first U.S. code, quote, is 18 U.S. Code 641 from public money, property, or records. It says whoever embezzles, steals, purloins, or knowingly converts to his use or the use of another or without authority sells, conveys, or disposes of any record, voucher, money, or thing of value of the United States or of any department or agency thereof, or any property made or being made under contract for the United States or any department or agency thereof, shall be fined not more than $10,000 or imprisoned not more than 10 years. Then beneath it reads James B. Comey, although we did not find clear evidence that Secretary Clinton or her colleagues intended to violate laws governing the handling of classified information, there is evidence that they were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information. And there's a couple of other examples there.
You know, intentional or not, Hillary has been in different levels of government almost her life. You can't tell me that she didn't know better. I would say it was definitely intentional. She's not an idiot, but she knows she can get away with an awful lot. And at the very least, this should preclude her from running for president. Even if they choose not to prosecute her, you have to admit that she's no longer qualified to be a president. For crying out loud.
I totally agree.
Yes. I heard in 2008 that she had been promised the presidency, but that they really wanted John McCain at the time, yet when they marched Obama out, he got such rave reviews from everyone. He was so popular that they felt they had to throw the general population a bone, was the exact words that were used.
They had to throw the population a bone. Was that because of the fact that people were waking up to what's going on in this country, and they were aware of the fact that something's not right? They thought this would calm people down?
No, not so much that. It was just sheer popularity. When they brought Obama out originally, he had so much instant popularity just because of his race. And it was such a novel thing that everybody went crazy. People didn't even bother to vet him. If they had vet him and discovered prior to the election his association with heirs and everything else, he probably would not have been elected at that point in time. There would have been enough notoriety that he would have been forced out.
Right.
What I was told was that basically she had been promised an opportunity to be president, And because they had other things going on, they wanted to run, either McCain or Obama that last time. And so basically she was promised it again for this 2016, 2017.
Oh, so that
Who do you
basically...
think's making such... Sorry, who do you think's making these promises?
I don't know.
This was coming to me through a grapevine I was tied into at the time. And it was very interesting. People who had friends who, and it's quite literally a grapevine that basically led up into, the halls of the military and State Department, etc.
So do you think it was a Democratic National Committee that promised Hillary or some other entity?
No, this is all being run out of the Council on Foreign Relations, the CFR.
So the CFR has a big say in who gets to be president?
Yes. Ever since they instituted the Diebold machines and the ones similar to it, basically they have full control over who and what gets elected.
Well, that's pretty disgusting then. Why are we having a discussion about it on a local or personal level if we're not even deciding anymore? Right?
Yeah.
You've seen how divisive it is, and families cut ties over who's in the Trump camp and who's in the Hillary camp, and when it really comes down to it, they don't get to decide anyway.
Most of the people don't know that, the situation has evolved to this. Everyone has essentially sat out of being the watchers on the wall, so to speak, for so long that all kinds of shenanigans have gone on underneath their very noses. And now, we have a corrupt and controlled situation and the marginalization of the general population who was supposed to be part of the balance of power.
So I suppose going forward, if Hillary's not going to be prosecuted for her mischief and she's not going to be pulled from the presidential campaign, then the handwriting on the wall appears to be saying, going to give it to Hillary no matter what, and that's going to cause some serious backlash. I don't know that they care if she's popular, but I think they're prepping for that revolution, whatever it takes to push us over the edge.
Yeah, well, it makes sense why they're moving, military assets around the country. Some of the stuff is not going to ports of call to be shipped overseas. So we're hearing, through other grapevines, essentially that these things are being sent to emplacements, foreign martial law type situation, and basically that their practicing is done.
Well, we're going to be going I hear music in the background. We're going to go to a station break. And when we come back, we're going to have Mary Ann calling us with some information that she found on Craigslist. So, folks, this is Maggie Rose. We are right now with Donna Hammond and Cy. And we're going to take a station break, and we'll be right back. And we have Mary Ann, who will be calling in from somewhere in the Midwest. Folks, we'll be right back. Hello, folks. This is Maggie Rose. What we are bringing, hopefully, I think we have Mary Ann on the phone. Mary Ann, are you there? I guess not. Cy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Donna, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. We are hoping Mary Ann's going to be calling into the show in just a moment here. She has some information to give us. Would you be able, please, Cy, to share again what was happening from Washington regarding the records that were that basically were being investigated by the Homeland Security and everything? Share what that was all about.
Oh, let's see here. Let's see. I don't have that open at the moment. Hold on a second here. Let's see if I can find that.
I think I gave everybody a link to that.
Yeah, you gave us a link to that earlier. It was let me see if I can find it right here. It was alert.
Yeah.
And what it was basically on the steedquail.com, and it said from my sister-in-law in Washington. Donna, can you please read the message we left for you on? We have a message on the. We have a message for you on the Skype. Read it, please.
Oh, there. I switched places.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm getting this for you. I know exactly what you're talking about now. Hold on a second. Let's see here. This was intel from. Let's see. I think this is the right one. Let's see. Hold on. No, this wasn't it. Hold on one second here.
I have it right here. It's from my sister-in-law in Washington State. Without any lawful jurisdiction, the feds are shutting down any health service that does not push drugs. Again, from the sister-in-law in Washington State, without any lawful jurisdiction, the feds are shutting down any health service that does not push drugs. Our appointments today at the neuropathic doctor's office in Gig Harbor, Washington, were canceled this morning due to an emergency that they were closing the clinic today. Mike stopped by on his way home from work to see what was going on. The federal agents and Department of Homeland Security were going through the patient files. Mike was able to talk with Dr. Colbo. The agents told the doctor they would only be there for 30 minutes this morning. As of 3:30 p.m., they were still there. They were also removing all boxes and loading them into a large moving truck. It is a similar raid, R-A-I-D, like years ago at Dr. Jonathan Wright's Tacoma Clinic, although a bit different as they have kept their guns in their holsters in this case. Dr. Colbo asked for prayers. He's a good man who is very concerned for the health of his patients. He has many healing for people who find no options elsewhere. The clinic with the doctors and staff provide a place of healing, hope, and joy. Thank you for your prayers. And this was dated July 2nd, 2016.
Right. That's a violation of the doctor relationship, I do understand.
Right, it is. It is.
Going through the patient records.
Yes, it is a violation, and it's a HIPAA violation as well. I don't understand why it is that they seem to think that they can do this. Now, Mary is here as well. It's on the same note. Marianne, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Marianne. Thank you for calling to the show. You presented something to me, and I'd like to read a little bit about it. There is medical records field technician job out there. The government is putting this on Craigslist. It is $18.50 an hour. It's a full-time job. And they open up by saying, we are building on the success of today for the future. The C like in Charlie, I like in India, O like Oscar, X like in X-ray, the CIOX. Health is a proven track record that goes back 40 years when we helped establish the industry of release of information. We are advancing the way that health information is managed and your trusted partner in the management of protected health information. We specialize, now listen to this, folks, we specialize in chart retrieval services, credentialing site reviews, electronic medical record storage. We continue to meet the growing demand for our services by expanding our network of skilled staff to provide our immediate and secure professional services. We are established nationwide looking for individuals with medical record experience. There's a lot of thumping going on in the background, ladies. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm trying to read this, okay? I've said here, this is a temporary position where individuals will be engaged to scan medical records in various provider offices. This is project-related position, and applicants must be able to commit to the project for 6 to 9 months. Applicants must available to be scheduled Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, not including travel time. Training and equipment will be provided. Compensation is hourly. There's also an opportunity to earn $35 per week bonus. They're looking for professionals, technical people, RNs, LPNs, medical coders, nursing assistants, nurse technicians, clinical care coordinators, chiropractic assistants, medical records clerks, health information specialist technicians, medical assistants, direct admissions personnel, on and on. Now, Mary Ann, would you please share with the people where you found this government-offered job and the fact that this means that the government is going to send all these people into the field, into doctors' offices, and take in a USB port and retrieve the records out of everybody's medical records out of all the doctors' offices. Will you please share with people when you found this, where you found this, and then and how you came about it?
Well, I was just scanning Craigslist for jobs, and I came across it in the southeast area. This was a couple of months ago. And the one that you read today is only from 19 days ago, and that was in Philadelphia, that one. So it's all, I think they're posting them all over the country, and they're hiring, they want to hire an individual who's just going to go into a doctor's office and scan all the records, put them on a flash drive, bring them back to their home, and upload them from their home computer. So they have access. I mean, who knows who has access to all of these medical records? And the company, that Psyox Health, it looks like it was just created this year, and it was it's a merge of 4 different companies that have come together, and it's funded by an equity company called New Mountain Capital. And but anyway, that's how I came across it. And I imagine it's in other places. I just happened to pull that one up today. And just by doing one little search on the Internet, I was able to pull that one up. So. Okay,
so you found that one today, right?
Yes, I pulled that up today when I was calling in. But I saw the same ad in the southeast about 2 months ago.
Okay, and this is on Craigslist, right?
Yes.
Okay, so folks, what's going on here is that, not only in the Midwest, where, Mary Ann is, but also on the East Coast and down in our southern states as well. If you look on Craigslist, you will see the ad in there for a medical records field technician. Now, this is a government job, folks, starting at $18.50 an hour. And what they're going to do is they're going to have these people travel to and from medical offices, and they're supposed to be dressed in a business casual appearance. They're supposed to scan the medical charts at the various medical facilities via their pre-designated process. I'm reading it right off their website. They are going to use a company-provided scanner or a flash drive to scan all medical records. Then they're going to upload the scanned charts to the corporate data center using the high-speed internet connection at their home. So get this, folks. These people are going to go out with a USB port. They're going to go into your doctor's office. They're going to scan your medical records. Then they're going to go home with your medical information to their house, to their home, to their place of residence. And from there, they're going to upload all the scanned charts to the corporate data center using their own home high-speed internet connection at home. Let me read that again, folks, okay? I'm quoting right off of the medical field's job offer site on Craigslist from the U.S. government, and it's CIOX Health. It's the company doing this for the federal government. C like in Charlie, I like in India, O like Oscar, X like X-ray, Health, HEALTH, /ECS S, like Echo Charlie Sierra. Quote, you will travel to and from medical offices, arriving on time and in a business casual appearance. Number 2, you will scan the medical charts at various medical facilities via our pre-designated process. Number 3, you will use company-provided scanner or flash drive to scan the medical records. Number 4, you will upload the scanned charts to our corporate data center using your own high-speed internet connection at your home. Now, Marianne, what did you think when you read this?
I was shocked. I mean, the first thing I thought of was, them allowing someone to bring, it's bad enough they're going there to scan the records, but then they bring it home, and who knows what they do with that flash drive, if, say, they lose it, or say they're not even people who would be on the up and up. I mean, anybody can apply for this job. I'm sure that they're not vetting people that well.
Okay, and so now, folks, do you hear what's going on here, okay? Basically, I guess these people go into a doctor's office, and your doctor just allows them to do this, allows them to get away with this.
I can't imagine what they're telling the doctor when they come in the door.
Exactly.
I'm here to take your records out.
So, Donna, what do you think about this?
It's amazingly bold. I mean, the potential for identity theft and other kind of mischief is enormous. Absolutely enormous. It makes you not want to go to a doctor anymore.
That was my first gut feeling.
I believe the government is creating that database. I mean, that's the whole Obamacare thing was, it's just to control us.
Yeah. It must be. I'm here from the government to implement Obamacare through record retention or something to that effect, and I cannot imagine a doctor's office being that okay with it. But anymore, nothing should surprise us, I guess. It's
folks,
a crazy world.
It's an example of that authority for themselves.
Exactly. Marianne, you know that I'm a licensed nurse, and you know that I served many years working in the federal government in the military. And something like this is just absolutely goes against everything I believe in. We already know that there are people in the government that took home information in the back of their car, and then somebody breaks into their car, and supposedly a lot of government records, personal information of thousands and thousands of government employees was on those databases. And you take it home in your car, and your car gets broken into, and this stuff disappears. I mean,
or you just need more money, and you figure out how to make it look like a theft, and you're actually selling the records? I mean, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean, they can copy to their own computer whatever's on that flash drive just because they're uploading it to a corporate database does not mean that they can't keep that information.
And sell it, and sell it, and sell it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Marianne, did you take a copy of this and take it to your doctor to show it to your doctor?
Well, hopefully I don't have to go to the doctor. I don't really, I try to say I don't have health insurance. I didn't sign up for Obamacare. I'm not participating. So I'm very fortunate that I'm healthy and I don't have any issues, so I don't really go to the doctor. But
Maggie, aren't you seeing the doctor in a family event at this point? Why don't you let us know what they say? You should ask.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to print it off. And then I'm going to take it to the VA hospital, and I'm also going to take it to our local hospital, and I'm going to show this to the people administration. And I'm going to say, you know what? If this is not a violation of HIPAA, if this is not a violation of I don't care if the people that are being hired to be this medical field FIELD technician, I don't care if they're an RN. I don't care if they're an LPN. I don't care if they're a medical records technician. I don't care if they're in the medical field like I am. This is wrong. This is absolutely wrong.
Yeah, Maggie, this is the government operating with total impunity. You know, they get a free pass on absolutely everything they freaking do because they've determined that no one is going to stand up and stop them.
And this is what they've been doing for years, and they keep getting away with it.
Yes, exactly. And now they have enough influence and control over virtually every aspect of our lives that, unless you're willing to have all options on the table and make them understand that all options are on the table and you're serious about backing it up, they just laugh at you when you protest.
Now, my question I have for Marianne, maybe you and your husband don't need medical insurance right now, but do you have other family members or friends where you could print this one that you found today, and you could print this up in Philadelphia Craigslist, and you could show it to your family and friends and say, look what I found. What do you think about this? And especially point out the section where it gives them the instructions of what they're going to do, that they are going to, number one, travel to and from the medical offices, scanning the medical charts, using a company-provided scanner or flash drive or a USB port, scanning the medical records, uploading the scan charts to the corporate data center by using their own home computer. They're going to go home with your medical information. Can you give this to your family and friends that do have medical insurance, that do see a doctor?
I think that, most of the doctor's offices and things, they're hooked up with Obamacare already. Like, they just type everything into their computer, and it goes into the government database as we go to the doctors now, I believe. And I was kind of thinking that this is for, there's some doctors who refuse, or like naturopathic doctors who, are not part of the whole healthcare insurance thing. And, I was thinking it was for the people who maybe were not participating. So they're going to, maybe they're just trying to force them and saying that you're going to have to give us your records or something like they did to this man in Washington.
Well, I'm looking at this right here, and I don't even see a phone number, how to contact them. There's no address or phone number to contact them.
Oh, you mean on the Craigslist ad?
Yes.
You would just reply, and then that usually, like when you hit reply, usually there's an email, or if sometimes a phone number will pop up if that's their, the method that they want you to contact them, or possibly internet address or something like that.
Okay. Well,
that's the way that Craigslist works.
Somebody, we can't assume what is going on here, whether it's doctors that are not participating with Obamacare, whatever. All I know is that medical records are being taken home and then uploaded from home. This is wrong.
That's wrong.
Wrong.
Yes.
And somebody needs to go to their congressmen, their senators. If they want to, they can send me an email to the New Concord Hour with Maggie at hotmail.com, and I will send you the link where you can read the entire advertisement for yourself, the entire job ad. I will send it to you. Send me an email, the New Concord Hour with Maggie at hotmail.com. If you don't have anything to write that down with, you just look on the website. There's a link there that talks about all the radio talk show hosts, and you'll see my email is right there, and you send that to me. And then I will go ahead and copy the URL and send that to you. That way you can make a copy of it and take it into your congressman or senator's office and say, all right, this is, again, more government overreach. Marianne, I want to thank you so much for this info.
You're welcome. And I think you can anyone can just find it if they just Google Craigslist ad medical field technician or tech and scan doctor's records. That's the way I found it, and it just popped right up. It was like one of the maybe the second or third one that popped up. So.
Okay, well, Marianne, thank you so much, and feel free to call into the show anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Marianne. My best to your family.
Same to you.
So anyway, Donna, I don't know about you, but I'm still reeling from this information that Marianne just gave us.
Well, Maggie, if I can interject here real quick, it's the same thing as what's going on with Hillary Clinton and, her risque use of private servers and her email accounts. It's the same thing. It's like they don't care. Everybody else has to follow rules except them.
Yeah, exactly. And this has been going up. And I guess the American people either are so busy doing whatever they're doing or so desensitized. It's like this one lady said to me, Maggie, I know what's going on out there. And it's happening in everywhere. No matter where you turn, what walk of life, what job, what business, whether it's in the school, whether it's at church, everywhere you turn around, we're being she said, I think people have just become so numb to it. They're just going through life like a bunch of robots right now.
Well, yeah.
Well, like
we're too disorganized as to what to do. There's a lot of splinter groups with ideas, but which one's going to work? And if you start, they've really been effective at creating the chilling effect on people. Because if you stand up or step out or speak out, the consequences can be devastating, and so they keep us in a state of fear on purpose, which is so un-American, and yet we, on the 4th of July, sing about being free. It's such a joke.
Well, in the chat room, we have right now Bonnie and, of course, Cy and Donna. We have Javdar, we have Joe, and Pet Monkey, Reb, and Valerie. And Valerie said about 5 years ago and further back, if a professional driver had a DOT exam, a medical card had to have with them at all times. A cop, police officer, or whoever had the, quote, authority to see every medical condition on their card. It's like there's no privacy anymore, not even your own medical. Can you imagine? I mean, It does. It makes you afraid to go to the doctor anymore. You don't know who to trust.
Especially if they have to ask those questions like, are you feeling suicidal? Do you own guns?
Yeah.
A lot of it goes back to how they regard human life, and the problem is that there is a subculture that is involved. They basically school their subsequent generations to go into leadership, and they regard human life as being worthless or expendable. They don't respect people or individuals, and that's where a lot of this comes from. It just filters downhill.
So here we have on SteveQuayle.com, that's Steve, QUAYLE.com, about the fact that they're going into a neuropathic doctor's office in Gig Harbor, Washington, and they're going in on the pretense of looking at a few records, and then they're removing all the records out of his office, basically closing him down because he uses natural pathways of healing people. He doesn't make them loaded up on a bunch of medications and drugs. Then we turn around and we see the case that Marianne brought to us. So here it's going on in Dr. Colbo's office in Washington. We see the situation going on here as well. Folks, I don't know, but somewhere out there needs to be a bunch of you that need to be protesting and stop fighting and being afraid to step forward. Don't you agree, Cy and Donna?
Yes. Absolutely.
A lot bigger crowd than what we're gathering now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and you can't hide, guys. They did that during the time of the Nazis and the Soviets. Hiding didn't work.
No, it did not. And if thousands of us stand forward, thousands and thousands of us, say we're not going to take anymore. This crap with Hillary that we found out yesterday, the crap that's been going on with our medical records, closing down, naturopath doctors because they won't give out medications. Because they don't want to give out medications because the medications have side effects, folks. As a nurse, I can tell you that. The pharmaceuticals are the ones behind this. You better believe it. They are in control. They're lobbyists efforts to pull the federal government, and they're using the FBI and Homeland Security to close doctors' offices up for doctors that will not use hardcore drugs and medications to drug up the American people. So, Maggie Rose,
I would imagine the chiropractors are on the next round.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Donna. Thank you, Cy, for coming up on Wednesday's Ladies Roundtable. We'll be back with you again next Wednesday on Ladies Roundtable. In the meantime, all you folks out there, tomorrow we have Chris Briles, the former fire chief of Hardin County. Again, Chris Briles, the former fire chief of Hardin County, is coming up on the New Concord Hour tomorrow. God bless you, folks.